Hi all, let's start with our next session. So we'll try to get into a deeper into output simplification, truth table simplification, and these are some of the exams questions you may get. So here we are having here we need to uh, add another key map for the given expressions, and we need to create group the group based on the zeros and as well as ones. So you need to do it in very carefully. And next we'll move on to the next slide. So this is one of the expressions that you have to try with. Draw the key diagram, and here you can see as ABC, only three inputs are there, and we have drawn the three inputs here, and we have uh, draw and we have placed it in the key map, and we got expressions for ones, and this is for zeros. So it is nothing but SOP and POS results. Okay. So and next we will move into Quinn-McCluskey method, tabular method of minimization. So here in this condition we will not be going through any key map simplification. Instead of that, simply we will try to uh, verify that by using one code variable. Okay. Karna map is a method. It's very simple and intuitively appealing and somewhat subjective. Depends on the user ability to identify the patterns that gives the largest results, and also the methods becomes difficult to adopt for the simplification of five or more variables. So Karna map will be very easy until whenever we have very less number of inputs. When the input goes beyond four or five, it will be difficult to get a simplified expressions. Quinn-McCluskey method involves the preparation of two tables, determines the prime implicants, and other selects the essential prime implicants. Quinn-McCluskey method reduces the min-term expansion. Okay, it reduces the min-term expansion of a function to obtain minimum sum of products. Our always our focus should be to get the min-terms whenever the expressions are given. The procedure consists of two main steps here, so that we need to focus on it. So first, eliminate as many as literals possible from each term by systematically applying the theorem xy plus xy bar equal to x, and results are called a prime implicants. First we have, whenever the Quinn-McCluskey method is having mainly two steps in that. So first, by using this method, so we need to eliminate we need to get the prime implicants, and use a prime implicants chart to select the minimum set of prime implicants which implicants which when not together when not together are equal to the function being simplified, and which contains a minimum number of literals. That means we need from the chart we need to select the uh, expressions which has minimum number of literals in that. So literal, as we already know, that each appearance of a variable, either complemented or uncomplemented, it's called as a literal. In the sense, we can also say that it's a input and implicant. So a product term which indicates the input validations for which given function is equal to 1, it's called as an implicant of the function. That means in this sense we can call it as also an output. So prime implicant, so an implicant is called as prime implicant if cannot be combined into another implicant that has fewer literals. Another way, it is impossible to delete any literals in a prime implicant and still have a valid implicant. Prime implicants are expressionless. That we should be knowing that prime implicants are expressions with least number of literals. Okay, that represents all the terms given in the truth table. Prime implicants are examined to get the essential prime implicants for a particular expressions that avoids any type of duplications. Prime implicants that avoids any type of duplications. Okay, Quinn-McCluskey method, determination of a prime implicants. Let's say how we will do it. The function must be given as a sum of minterms. Here you can see so minterms is nothing but SOP. If the function is not in the max term for if the function is not in the max term form, convert it to the min term exponent. Suppose if the result has been given in a max term, then you need to convert it to a min term first. In the first part of the Kuhn-Nagler method, all of the prime implicants of a function are systematically formed by combining the mean terms. So here you can see in the previous slide, just you try to have a note here. Okay, I will we'll go to last. How we are trying to do? So first, what we are trying to do is just we are trying to take two inputs here, and we are trying to ensure that 1 minute. Zero 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 one and zero. Okay, stage one. In order to find the all of the possible inputs, all possible pair of minterms should be compared and combined whenever possible. To reduce the required number of comparisons, put minterms in different groups depending on depending on depending on how many ones input ones combinations ABCD for. First of all, for example, the group has one. The first group, come on, sorry. For example, first group has one in input combination, second group has one, only one, third has first group has one in the input combination, second group has only one, third has two, fourth three is the fourth number of ones. So here you can see what we are trying to do is, here we are trying to group based on the number of ones here. So if you observe it here, we are having first we need to take the expressions which has ones at the output, and we need to group it based on the inputs. Like here you can see, here we are having no ones here we are having only single ones, and here we are having two ones in the input. You can see here 1 2 3 inputs, 3 1 we are having in the input, and the last one is 4 ones we are having at the input. Like this, with the different number of for the different number of inputs with the ones, we are just we are grouping based on it. Okay, and in the stage 2, what we will try, so we'll try to first combine the first and second group stage of ones, and remember to the what we will do, just here you can see it, right? Last period, here we will go. What we will try to do here, we will try to what we'll do, we'll try to compare this one with this next group ones. First we'll compare 0 and 1, then 0 and 2, and how we will map it, how we will identify the differentiation. Whenever there is a single bit changes, okay, whenever there is a single bit changes, we'll mark that one with a dash. Okay, and suppose if we take it for the first condition, 0th and 1 condition, 0 0 0 dash, here first will 0 0 0 same, 0 0 same, 0 0 same, 0 1, there is a change, so here we need to take a put a dash. Okay, and if we take the second one, these two will be the 0 0 only. Here there is a 1 bit change, we will put a dash here, and here it is the same. And next we will take these two. Next, suppose if we take this one, so here you can see there is only 1 bit change once again here. So 0 0 0 0 same, 0 1 we need to put a dash here, 1 1 it's the same. So next we have to take these two. Here you can see we will ignore this combination which is 1 and 10, because the reason I will tell you, we need to consider here only the combinations in which only one position change will happen. Okay, suppose if we take this one, 0 and 1, 1 dash has came. If we go to the next one, 0 0, that's fine. Here once again you can see 0 and 1, that means two dashes are already one dash we are already having at the first input combinations, and we are trying to have it again here. So we will try to ignore such kind of this kind of combinations here. In the future you will try to understand here. That's what here that has been mentioned. First we will try to combine the first and second group of ones on a member to member basis. The rule is to see if only one binary bit is differing between the two numbers, and we mark the position by dash. This means corresponding variable is not required to represent those numbers. Thus zeros of the first group combines with the one, and this is already I have explained it here. This is how we will represent it here. Proceed in the same manner to find the rest of the combinations in a successive group of ones, and in the table as in a figure. So we will try to view it in the next slide. Note that we need not to look beyond successive groups to find such combinations, as groups that are not adjacent differ by more than one binary digit. Is also note that each combination of two stages can be represented by three literals. All the combinations of a particular stage which finds itself in in at least one combinations of the next level trick, right? Okay, checked off marked. Now this may show the, okay, what we will try to do. Okay, I will explain it then. Just I will previously already I have explained it. So we will try to go to the truth table, and there are few points that I will try to cover it again. So two terms can be combined if they differ by exactly one variable. This one you need to always note it on this point. Comparison of terms non-adjacent groups is unnecessary because such terms will always differ in at least one or two, at least in two variables, and cannot be combined using this method. Similarly, the comparison of terms within a group is unnecessary because because of two terms with the same number of ones must differ in at least two variables. Thus, only terms in adjacent groups must be compared. That means once again they are trying to mention like only the adjacent groups should be compared. Each time term is combined with another term, it is checked off. Okay, we will try to go to, yes, here you can see what they are trying to say. Like, it's a very simple one. Stage 1, stage 2 is there, right? So whenever these terms get completes with the comparison of that, here we need to tick that. Here you can see. Once the comparison is done, we need to tick that, so that we will be having an idea which one has been completed. And also comparing, we should compare only the adjacent cells. If we take this one as a different groups, 0, 1, first group, second group, third group, fourth group, fifth group, we should always compare adjacent means. That means first group should be compared only with the second group. Second group should be always compared only with the third group. We should not compare first group with the third group. That's one of the main method which we'll see in Winn-McCluskey method. Winn-McCluskey simplification. Okay. So and a term may be used more than once because here you can see, and even though two terms have already been combined with the two other terms, that still must be compared and combined if possible. Okay, this is necessary because of the reluctant. At this stage, we may generate redundant term, but these redundant terms will be eliminated later. But still, if you want to compare it, you can do that, but these will become a redundant. That means comparison of non-adjacent terms with respect to I'm speaking. I'm explaining. Okay, so this term will create some redundant terms which can be eliminated later. So already I have explained in the previous, like if we compare these two, so we'll mark it like 0, 1. So these three are same, only one bit change. We'll note it down. In the same here, only this bit is changed, so we will mark it down here. Now what we are trying to do, 1 and 3, we are trying to compare it. So and also you need just previously I said, so if there is a more than one bit change, we are not considering here. You can see we have not considered 1 and 10 combination and also 1 and 10 combination because we are having more than one bit change, and the same applies to other combinations also. That this one you need to be very careful. This is stage 2, and we will try to do it in different stages. So this is the stage 2 that we are done, and in the next stage what we'll try to do, once again we'll try to compare these results. Okay, in the stage 3, once again the steps repeats. We combine the members of a different groups in the stage 2 in a similar way. So now we have two elements in each combination. This means once again, like there should be only one transit, one input code change should be available. So those type of a combinations only we will try to ensure it. For example, here in this, here you can see they have considered 0, 1, 2, 3. This one they are trying to compare with this one. Here you can see, okay, these two are same, and only this has been changed. 0, 1, sorry, this is not 0, 1, not 0, 1, 0, 3. This one 0, 0, 0, 0. Only this one has been changed. Only 0 is there, 1 is there, but this one has been changed, and remaining they have kept like that. So why they are not considering 0, 1 and 1, 3 here? Because you can see these terms are not matching. 0, 0 is fine, but here we need to compare 0 with a dash and 1 with a dash. So which is once again means redundant terms. That's why we are not considering it here. So and the same applies for a 0, 2, 1, 3. Now once 0, 1 with all the combination is done, we will go to the 0 to 0 to combination with the other terms. Here you can see what it matters. Simply directly we can say there itself, like this one matches with this one. So first this term should match, right? This one we will take care, and these two changes. So we can do like this, and the same applies to now. They are trying to have this one with a later what they will do. Now what we have to do, we have to start doing combination of these two terms, and later that we have to verify these two combinations. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, the same thing has been explained here also. Okay, next we will this has been done, and we'll if any duplicate terms are formed, in each case by combining the same term with the min terms differentiated, this duplicate must be deleting. Now to compare the terms from the each two groups, no further combination is possible, then process eliminates. Suppose if you take these combinations, here you can see only here you can see two terms are duplicated. Okay, so these are the duplicated terms we can see, because all are having the same combination here also, the simple terms. That's the reason we are having a same combinations here. So these two should be eliminated, only one should be considered, and also we still until there might be a doubt that until what stage we will keep doing it. So until we get a simplified version, until the condition that okay, this is done, it cannot be extended further. So till that condition, this comparison will be carried out. Once it is done, so and once it is done, we will try to have a finalized expression. Okay, and there is no further four stage combinations in the node for this problem, as no two members of the test tree has been different by changing the among them the rule terms of what happens in here. You can see here we are not having any option to continue further, so we'll be terminating here itself this combination. Sorry. Okay. Determination of prime implicants. Because of every minterm has been included at least one of the prime implicants, the function is to equal number of prime implicants is term. Okay, but the number of term is not minimum. So okay, given the function f in the n variables, the product term p is the implement of f for every combination of values of then p equal to 1, it's also equal to 1. A prime implicant of a function f is a product term implicant which no longer implicant if any other deleted. 1 minute. We'll go with the next slides, and will the implementation has been done here. Okay, selection of prime implicants. Once we are able to determine the prime implicants that cover all the terms of a truth table, okay, we try to select the essential prime implicants and remove the redundancy or duplication among them. This I have been already explained you. So first our intention is to find the prime implicants. If there is any duplicate, we will try to eliminate it. To find the minimum expressions, we construct a prime implicant table in which there is a row for each prime implicant and a column for each min term that must be covered. Okay, for this we will be creating one separate prime implicant table for this to find the prime implicants. Note, don't care values are not included. This one you need to be very careful because we were considering these don't care values in the previous K maps. Okay, then we can place a check marks or AX to indicate the min terms covered by each prime implicant. Here selection of prime implicants from this table, and this is done by following way. For min term is and this is already known that with respect to the prime implicant, that if a min term is covered by only one prime implicant, then that prime implicant is called as an essential prime implicant, and this already we have known it in while doing a simplification of a Karnaugh maps, and that must be concluded in the minimum sum of products. Essential prime implicants are easy to find using the prime implicant chart. If a given column contains only one tick or X, then the corresponding row is the essential prime implicant. Encircling by tick or cross mark. Each time prime implicant is selected for inclusion in the minimum sum, the corresponding row should be crossed out. Once we select that prime implicants, the corresponding row should be crossed out. After doing this, the columns which corresponds to min term are covered by a prime implicant should be crossed out. So essential prime implicants and corresponding rows are crossed out. A minimum set of prime implicants must be chosen to cover the remaining columns. This again, a minimum, you should remember this. A minimum set of prime implicants must be chosen to cover the remaining columns. To find the minimum set of row in the cover remaining columns, or find the minimum number of prime implicants. Either this one you have to do, or just this one. So example, let's go with example. Here you can see it here. So find AB dash and AB cover terms that are not covered by other, and they are essential prime implicants. These two, AB and AB dash, are not covered by others, so they are called essential prime implicants. BC dash and AC B bar C and AC among themselves cover 10 and 11, which are not covered by any others. So in the previous, we are talking with respect to the previous session, which we have previous problem which we have solved it. So one of them must be included in the list of the essential prime implicant. So making this as a 3 here. These are the essential prime implicants, as already explained. AB dash and AB. These are the essential prime implicants that it must be there in the final expression. But these two we have, BC dash as well as AC. B dash C and AC. So here at least we should have one in the expression in the list of essential. To have a 3 essential prime implicants, either this one should be considered, or only this one should be considered. Either one should be present to get a essential prime implication list. Here you can see this one can be how that can be resolved, how that can be calculated. It can be done by using this. These are the results, right, where we have got where the output 1 was represented. So here I can say this was it was there. So and here we will try to tick out like which is the expression that we need to see. So a dash b dash represents 0 1 2 3. So here we will take out, just we will represent it like this, and b dash c, so it will represent 2 3 10 11, and 10 11 14 15, like this we will represent it. Okay, here our intention, first these two are not covered by anyone, so we will take it up. So these two are not covered by anyone, so it has to be essential prime implicant. That means these two will become a essential prime implicants. Okay. In this, what happens now? There is a one more point. These two, how they will become a essential prime implicants? Either these two can be considered by using this expression P dash C, or these two can also be covered by AC. You can see it here also, and here you can see these two are also part of either AB dash or AB, A dash B dash or AB. So that if you take any one of it, only these two should be considered. For 10 11 only they should be considered, and for that either you can select B dash C or AC. Okay, the same thing has been explained here. So this will be the prime implicant because it has not been covered by any other one. The same applies to this one also. Either this, for consideration of 10 and 11 sequence number, either you have to take a B dash C or you need to take AC. So that one, on that way it can be founded at. And this is a one more problem that here you can see we will be going across it. So we are trying to group by different number of ones here, for the given input combinations, and we are trying to compare it again 0 1. And one thing you have to observe on the column 2, and that means in the stage 2 you will get almost all the possible combination from here to here, because most of the time there will be only one single combination, only one single bit will change will be there. As the stage proceeds, so the number of combinations will get reduced. So here you can see, with respect to this you can say, right, only one code change is there, almost all the combination stays here. And in this I think it differs, there will be some difference. Okay, 1 5 combinations matches only one, this one change. 1 6 doesn't matches because it has only one. So here you can see these two are not matching. Once again here 1 9 combination matches, only this one matches. 1 10 doesn't matches. Like this you have to do the comparison and you will get a stage 2. So once it is done, we'll be taking it out like this. And once this is done, okay, stage 2 is done, we will be moving it to stage 3. We will be comparing this one with this and this one with this, and there should be only one single code change, and only will be considering those conditions only. Here you can see at the end we will be ending up with only AB, BC, and one minute. Once it is done, we will be doing like this. And how we will represent that? Last video. Here you can see 0 1 8 9 and 0 2 8 10, and we have so many possible combinations here. Only we are having 1 2 3 combinations do we have. Last one. 1 0 2 10 2 6 10 14. Oh, here we are. Sorry, just in between I thought even this is also dashed. Only we are left with 3 basic prime implicants, and remaining we have left with 1 5 1 5 7 and 6 7. Because this, why we are taking that, this is not matched with any of the other combinations which is available here. Once the comparison is done, at least if it is exist in the next table, so we will be striking it out. Here you can see 1 9 is 1 9 1 9 combination is present here. 2 6 combination is somewhere present here. 2 10 combination it's also present here. 8 9 combination somewhere it has to be there. Okay, 8 9 combination here you can see. Okay, 8 9 combination it is present here. That means the ticket marks, already I have explained you these ticket marks. That means somewhere it has covered only non-ticket marks. Okay, only non-ticket conditions. That means those are not covered under in any of the combinations. That means they will become they have not covered. So these expressions, these conditions, we need to consider while taking an answer, while taking the output expression. That's the reason 1 5 5 7 and 6 7 has been included here. Hope you are getting that. Okay, and now we will try to uh, have try to get like what is the simplified expression of it. Okay, and the final expression is, for this there is no terms in, there is no other term here, also there is no other term. So that means directly these two should be covered, right? B dash C dash, it has to be covered in the output combinations, right? So that's why they have marked in a cross mark. So CD bar, so CD bar they have covered. So now what should be the next term? Like we will try to ensure it, like how it can be done in a simple way. Okay, this is done. So that means in this term whatever it is there, it is already covered, and also whatever it is there, it's also covered. Now this one also we can ignore it. Okay, just we are left with these two left and these two left. Now we need to take this one, even this can be ignored. Okay, because this has been already covered it somewhere. Okay, and here you can see even this can also be ignored because these two combinations are already present, and even this is also can be ignored. And also you can see this has been covered here, this has been covered here, this has been covered here, and this has been covered in the previous session. That means whatever we are trying to extract it, this second one, why we are eliminating B bar D bar is, so this has been already covered in other group. So that's the reason we are trying to eliminate B bar D bar. And here we have got two what you can say essential prime implicants. Now we need to find out, there are some of the other terms here we have. So for those we need to find out some in this one. Consider this one only because this is not covered it here. We will consider this one as well as this one. So for these two we need to have some particular term, right, which covers these two combinations. So it will be A bar BD, A bar BD. So these two are covered somewhere. So and this one it covers remaining also. Just in the real time you try to put the same graph and just you try to strike it out and try to see like how it works and how it will be eliminated. So it will be very easy for you. This is the better example that you can see, like what are the things are covered and what are left with. These two covered, these two covered, and we are left with only these two combinations. Okay, for these two combination what should be the, this one we are covering it here, and this one we are covering it here. Why we can't take A dash, C dash and D? Because it will cover only the single essential prime implicant, and to cover this one we need to have one more. Instead of that we can have a single one itself. That's the reason we are trying to cover like that. Twin McCluskey method, once again we are once again we are trying to have it. So here you can see we are having a 3 inputs and we are trying to using K-map and EVN and Twin McCluskey method. So okay, here you can see we are trying to, for the input combinations we are trying to have a K-map, and these are the some of the simplified results. I hope you can easily do that. So it will be a bar and these two cancels out. Which one? These two cancel, A B bar. Then these two, just it will be a B C bar and A bar C, B bar C and A bar C. This will be the one results. And once again once again we are trying to do it by And here what we are trying to do here, we are trying to get the combinations of input for 0 0 what it is there with respect to the C. Hope you guys remember that we have already covered this one in. So 0 0 is there, so and C0 is there, 1 is there, so what will be the one output irrespective of the C, it will be always 1. So what is the C is there, exactly replica is it there, so here also, and here you can see it's a 0 always irrespective of the whatever the input combination, and we are trying to plot using two input combinations with the C, and this is a simplified term of it, like how it can be done. Okay, and this is with respect to the previously whatever we have seen, it is with respect to EVM, and now we are trying to view it by using Quinn-McCluskey method, and this will be easy for you guys as it's only a having a three input condition, three input variables, so it will be easy for you guys. So with the one zeros, with all zeros we are having one, with single one we are having one, with two ones we are having one, and for the three inputs, three ones, we are not having the combinations, and you can compare this one, and here you can see there is only one change here and here also, and the essential prime implicant, so this is the table that we used to get that. So here you can see all the three we need to consider, because this is having a unique one, this is also having a unique one, this is also having a unique one, that means all are essential prime implicants, and this one can, this way it can be find it out. And this is the one more problem that where just you can put the truth table if you want to explain it in detailed way. So just you go through this once, it's a very easy one. So once again, 0 1 matters. So directly we have moved into a this is a two input combination, right? So there is a one confusion here, so there should be a one line here, because so this zero input, zero number of inputs, and one is there here, so there should be a demarcation layer, that's a confusion here. 0 1 0 1 we need to compare, and here also there is some confusion, so this should be like this. Okay, this 0 should be separated, 0 should be in one group, 1 and 2 should be in a different group. First we need to compare 0 0 0 1 and 0 2. That's how it should go. And here also, then we need to compare 1 5 1 6 2 5 2 6. In that way we should compare, and we are ending up with this one. So on the end result will be prime implicant chart has two or more x's in every column. It is called cyclic prime implicant chart. Okay, here you can see in the each and every combinations. Okay, in the each and every row you can see at least it has a two combinations in the vertical as well as the horizontal. So this will be called as cyclic prime implicant chart. Okay, the expected result is okay, this one should be there. Suppose if it comes here, so this one can be considered because it will eliminate these two, and this one should be okay. Oh, this has been already covered here, so this should be there, if because illa cover ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, so we need to implement this, only these two should be there. Yes, Quinn-McCluskey method. Okay, we'll all the columns have two x's, so that will proceed trial and error, both zeros and one have come. Okay, try 0 after crossing row 1 and 2, best choice is 2 6. The previous whatever we have seen it, the same thing has been explained it here. Okay, and here you can see. Okay, and here we are trying to have the note that in the K-map, if each minterm on a K-map can be covered by two different loops. Similarly, each column of a prime implicant chart has two x's. indicating that each term can be covered by two different prime implicants. That's true. That means if there is a two terms here, so it can be covered by at least one prime implicant, considering that. If we consider that, so here this one can be, no, there is something fishy here. Okay, no, that if it came up, different loops. How they are trying to have this one, then this should be taken, yes. If they are taking this one, and then if they along with this one, here you can see this one they are considering it. If they consider this one, why they are considering this one? That matters, right? Why they are not consider only the first one? If we consider the first one, what will happen? It will eliminate only the three combinations of input 1, 2, and 3. Why they have considered second one? It will eliminate four combinations. That means whichever the expression which eliminates more combinations, more input combinations, which should be considered first. Okay, so that's the reason they have considered with the AC dash, and this one can be covered it here, right? BC, and by this even this will also be covered. So and the same thing can be covered by using AB also, so that it will cover this and this. This is how it can be done. And there is a one more problem we can go through the same way. This is with respect to the 5 input variables, and it will be shared to you. Please go through it. If there is any doubts, feel free to reach out to me. And this is one more problem where you can uh, do the some of the works here. Thank you. And this is Spin-Michaelis method. Simplification has been done, and I think it's easy for you guys to understand and do it. And there are some problems which you guys need to work out. So if you work on it, definitely it will be an easy topic for you guys. Thank you.